So there's several ways of forming ravioli and tortellini, even agnolotti. We could take and put a line down here with a piping bag and roll this over, put a little bit of water on here, fold it over one more time, pinch, fold, and make agnolotti. People even make tortellini that way. We're going to start with a relatively simple way of doing them. And I'll show you not just the round, but I'll show you the square in case you don't have a round cutter. So just make sure you get that cut all the way through nicely. You have your round. Get several of them done, but I'll show the base principle. Cover about 2/3 of the edge with a little bit of water. Put your filling in the center. You can fold over. Kind of looks like a pierogi, doesn't it? You can fold that over. So now we have a couple of options. The easiest option is just to take these two and cross them a little bit and pinch them. And we have the tortellini. We'll also show you how to do them with the fluted side in case you have a fluted cutter. So that's our tortellini. And we can set them aside, but just set them on a little base of semolina with a little bit more on top. And that will help them from drying out as they sit. We'll do one more, and then we'll get the girls. One of them will roll, and one of them will fill. We do have to be careful when we're doing the striped pastas that we don't burst them open. So don't apply too much pressure when we're folding these. So if you put the water on first, keeps it a little bit cleaner. I only go 2/3 because I want to create a little bit of dry against the wet, and that's going to make it more sticky. If I have wet on wet, it's going to not hold together necessarily as well. You girls hungry yet?
Yeah.
So we can have the fluted, and the fluted will just have a little bit more interest to them. We can also press in with our finger and just cross them a little bit more to make these nice tortellini. Press where you're folding them together though, to help hold it together so it doesn't fall apart. And then just a touch of flour on top of them. Then we'll get the water on and get boiling. So while the girls are just rolling, if we have a square, we do it a similar way. We can brush the water on 3 sides and grab our filling, putting it in the center. Then we can fold the sheet over and seal tightly. And the same sort of thing. Just pinch that. Then you have a tortellini that you didn't need any special equipment to make. One more thing then. Maybe you don't want to do the tortellini. It's a lot of work. And we're going to do one ravioli out of these two. And I'm going to show you also a cannelloni. The cannelloni, we just have to cut rectangles. And you can fill it with the ricotta now if you have a nice tomato sauce, and maybe that tomato sauce is a little bit runnier. Then you can take a whole bunch of these, you can put your filling in, and just roll them up like that. Make sure the seam is at the bottom, and line them into a pan, and put a tomato sauce that's a little bit thinner over top of them. Make sure it's covered, and wrap that all in tin foil. Put it in the oven for about 40 minutes, and the wetness of the tomato sauce will actually cook the pasta. So that's one way of doing it. Personally, I'd rather just take these and I put them into boiling water. Then I can stuff my ricotta cheese into a cooked sheet, fold it over, just warm it for 5 minutes in the oven, and pour some fresh tomato sauce over top of it. Or one of the other 2 amazing sauces we're going to make. So ravioli is a little bit different as well. And we don't need stripe on the top and bottom. We're just going to put water all the way on the whole surface of this. Nora, you can finish. And just, we can put twice the filling in these because we're using 2 sheets, so it's going to be twice the amount of pasta. Can we see that? Oh, that's a little bit too much. A little bit too much. The reason I'm saying a little bit too much on this is because we do have the top sheet is in 3 pieces, and if we have too much filling, we risk ripping these open. So we're going to lay this on top and then gently press down. If you press down and out towards the edges a little bit, making this circle slightly larger than it is now, and you take and recut with the cutter, just recut and make a nice scallop edge around it. So nerves pressing really tightly, pressing all the way along, making sure that this isn't going to fall apart on us. And then so you can just take this cutter, lay it over, and press and pretty up the edges. Presentation is a lot of our business. So here you have ravioli, square cut tortellini, round spinach tortellini, cannelloni, and the tri-color tortellini.